Welcome everyone to another session on Current Affairs by Civils 360 IAS Academy. In this session, we will be discussing about the zero waste cities as well as UN habitat. So, zero waste cities is actually an accreditation given by UN Habitat along with UNEP. Right. So basically the term itself is self-explanatory. It refers to cities that have successfully managed to tackle waste generation. Okay. That actually create a net zero waste. Okay. So if you look at the zero waste city, there is a list of 20 cities that are actually kept by UN Habitat, okay, as as part of their list for cities who have successfully managed to tackle waste. So this time, which the news was that a city from India, which is Varkala, from Trivandrum or Thiruvananthapuram, they have achieved the zero waste city tag. Okay, so earlier Indore had also achieved that tag. Okay, zero waste city tag. So if you look at the UN Habitat, they actually give a list of 9 criteria for a city to satisfy in order to be treated as a zero waste city. Okay, and it's a very broad list of criteria, right? Greater than 50% of the waste should be treated. Okay, there should be adequate monitoring of waste generation. Even it's a very broad list of criteria. Gender inclusion, all those things are also there. Access to credit. So just understand that there are 9 criteria and there are a list of 20 cities. Okay, and the accreditation is actually given by UN Habitat and UNEP together. And Varkala has been given that tag. Okay. Along with that, there are only another city from Asia who also have received the tag of late, which is actually Hangzhou from China. Okay, Hangzhou from China. Okay, so remember the zero waste city idea. Now, if you look at Varkala, just remember a few, it actually focuses a decentralized waste collection, which is actually spearheaded by the Harita Karma Sena. But just remember, there is a term which is called green protocol. Okay, so green protocol, this piece of information is important for prelims. Green protocol is associated with the decentralized waste management system of Kerala, which focuses on reducing the waste itself. Okay, prevention of generation itself is the focus. Okay, it reduces the cost. Okay, then there is a collective measures are taken. Right, a community-based, decentralized waste segregation, collection, monitoring. Okay, they also have vigilant, groups. Okay, citizen groups that actually report littering. Okay, such kind of methods are there. But just know, green protocol is associated with the decentralized waste management system of Kerala, spearheaded at Thiruvananthapuram. Okay, so this much information should be there with you regarding zero waste cities. Okay. Now we will discuss a little bit about UN Habitat. Okay, so UN Habitat is an international organization. Okay, it's an international organization it was created by UN. Okay, so UN Habitat. Okay, it was created in 1977 after a conference on United Nations Human Settlements. So this UN Habitat is also known as the United Nations Human Settlements Program. Okay, it's the same thing. The United Nations Human Settlements Program and UN Habitat is the same thing. Established in 1977 after a conference on human settlements. Okay, and that conference was actually, it was held in 1976. Okay, the headquarters of UN Habitat is actually in, this conference was held at Vancouver. Okay, Vancouver. The headquarters of UN Habitat is at Nairobi. Okay, so this conference where it was established, this is known as the first United Nations Habitat Conference. Okay, similarly, there is another foundational conference which is related to UN Habitat, you must know, wherein the Habitat Agenda was formed. Okay, the Habitat Agenda. This was formulated in 1996. Okay, at the second United Nations Conference on Human Settlements and Sustainable Urban Development. That is the entire name of the conference. Okay, so United Nations conducted that conference first in 1976. Afterwards, 1977, it created the United Nations Habitat. It's under UN. Okay, it's not a specialized agency or something. It's just a United Nations program. Okay, it is not a specialized agency. Don't get that idea. It's a program by United Nations. Okay, so remember 1976 and 1996, Turkey, which formulated the Habitat Agenda. So the Habitat Agenda has two goals. The first important goal is to ensure adequate shelter for all. So remember, there are two goals for the Habitat Agenda which underpins the objective of UN Habitat. The first is actually to ensure adequate shelter for all, and the second important goal is to ensure sustainable urban development. Okay, so these two goals also you have to keep in mind. Okay, then it convenes, it has a governing assembly. So if you look at the structure, you have a governance council is there, which is the, what you can say, the most powerful decision making body. Then you have the executive committee as well as the secretariat. Okay, but just know that the governing council, it meets every 4 years. Every 4 years. Okay. And the executive committee is actually a 36 member. It's actually elected from the UN members. So this UN Habitat, since it's a program of UN, all the UN members are actually part. Okay, all the UN members are actually part of the United Nations Habitat or Human Settlements Program. Okay, and the governing council, which includes all the members, it meets every 4 years. Okay, then you need to know that this was actually started in 2019. Okay, in 2019. Okay, the first president is actually Mexico, so that also just keep in mind. Then another important thing, it convenes various programs, or United Nations Habitat has various programs. Among them, the most important program is actually World Urban Forum. Okay, World Urban Forum. Okay, it was started in 2021 and it meets every 2 years. Okay, World Urban Forum. So remember, the World Urban Forum is actually a conference that is conducted by the United Nations Habitat. Okay, so remember United Nations Habitat, when it was formed, where its headquarters is. Remember the two important foundational conferences where it was held, the Habitat Agenda and the two goals. Okay, remember about the governing council. Remember the about the World Urban Forum, and also remember the zero waste cities. Okay, remember that Varkala, remember about green protocol. Okay, so these are bits and pieces of information that you need for prelims. Okay, so that's all in this session. Thank you.